Years ago, MARWA ISHAQ dreamed of a stable life where her family would have enough for their needs. Instead, she was displaced by Darfur's war. She and her children have left the displacement camps in Western Sudan and now live in SADA, a village in North Darfur. But she says she and her family are still suffering from the effects of the conflict.
There are no schools for our kids to go to, so none of them receive any kind of education. There are no hospitals, so we have to walk for miles or hitch a ride from cars passing by to take us to the nearest hospital. Even for water, we have to walk for 2 hours because there is no pump in our village.
The war in Darfur started in 2003, when ethnic tribes in the region rebelled against the government. It led to more than 300,000 people being killed and over 3 million displaced. The war was labeled a genocide by the International Criminal Court, which issued 3 arrest warrants for the then President Omar al-Bashir. Now, this western region is dotted with dozens of villages. Some were destroyed during the war, but others have been set up by people after fighting ebbed in recent years. When the war started, the rebels accused the government of marginalizing them and focusing development on the capital and areas around it. The war in Darfur was started with the aims of getting more political representation and economic development. But 17 years on, it's left many villages lacking basic services. People in some villages are working to recover from the impact of the war. But the country's economy has been damaged by that conflict and others, and Sudan is facing high inflation. And that's affecting reconstruction.
One of the biggest challenges is getting materials. The prices are expensive, and even when we manage to get them, transportation is an issue because of the distance they come from. There are few organizations still working in the region to help us with the funding.
72 organizations were forced out by the government when the ICC announced its arrest warrant against the former president. Bashir was ousted last April, and a new transitional government came to power months later. That administration has stated that all organizations are welcome back to provide aid. Those already on the ground say what's needed the most is development.
Emergency aid obviously has its place. If people are in desperate need, are literally dying, of course you have to provide emergency aid. If you can concentrate on sustainable aid across a whole package, the basic things that people need, you will actually give a whole community a life.
For now, villages like SADA continue to pay the price of the Darfur war. People here say they hope the rebels and the new government reach a deal to end the conflict for good, so that the country's resources can be focused on building a better future for the people of the region. Hiba, Al Jazeera, North Darfur.